Okay, good day, guys. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Ademola Fahimi. They say a journey with 1,000 miles starts with a step. So this is like the beginning of my video. Basically, what I'm trying to do is document my ideology, not trying to impose it, bringing in my facts, open to criticism and what's it called, other opinion, getting better together. That's basically the whole thing. Then don't mind my glasses. I'm just trying to form scholar. It's not recommended. I don't mind the poor lighting. Hopefully, in due time, we shall get better. What really inspired what I'm doing right now is the goings, the doings in the society, what has really been happening in our society, Nigeria, how religion has influenced us, how history has really influenced us. Because the major thing, history influences, the government does, and the way the system is being modeled. Now, I'm saying all these things not from a script. These are my ideologies. These are my mindsets. This is where I feel we've gotten some things wrong. This is how I feel we can get better. And what triggered this is just the doings in things going on in the society. Please, uh, this is my first episode, and I'm still going to do more. So allow permit mistakes, and hopefully we'll get better on time. So now, one of the trending situations in the country at the moment is the IPO, the Biafra situation, and this is not an issue that started some years back. And let's just do a brief recap on the Biafra war that happened between 1967 to 1970. Basically, okay, what triggered the whole thing is, like before the colonial, before our independence, there were three regions: the north, the south, the west rather, and the east. Before the colonial master came, the north have been more organized in a kind of how would I put it? In a setting that they had an emir, and the northerners sees this person like their semi-god, and they are subjected to every of their assertions and views. In in the east, it's not like that. They have like council of elders. They make decisions together. So one person can't make total decision. And west, they have a king as well, and like it's a mixture of the north and the east. Now they have a king and they still have council of elders. They consult themselves, but the king makes but the king makes the final decision, right? So now, after the independence, the country started on what's it called? Started with some couple of corruptions. After the colonial masters left, there was a blueprint of the Northeast taking charge because how would I put it? Because the more educated people in Nigeria that then were the Yorubas and the Igbos, meaning the West and the East, right? The Northerners on the other side are mostly Muslims, and they've always lived by faith and subjections to their leaders, which are actually still their Islamic leaders, like their religion leaders. But unlike that, in this part of the country, they believe more in education. Not that the North don't believe, but a larger percentage of them doesn't really follow that. Now, when the colonial masters were about leaving, they felt like there's something called new colonialism, right? New colonialism is new means new. So when the colonial master realized that they didn't have an option, they don't have a choice, and it's all obvious they have to let Nigeria lead themselves, they left. But giving what's it called, modeling the system in a way that it will favor it will make the northerners be in control, and in this lane they have a singular head that, if well controlled and dribbled, right, can control his entire region or 90% of its populations, unlike the south, the west, and the east. Permits me. So they feel like if they still want to be in charge indirectly, they have to put someone they feel like they can manipulate and all. So these have always affected the origination and the formulation of the Nigerian state. The northern are more in charge because, for example, check the landmass. Check the landmass in the country. Check the number of population. It has been modeled in a way. Well, one of other factors that contributed to it is their religion of more than one wife and more children. You understand? And because Muslims. Ah, no, let the fuck. I'm mad. Pardon me, please. We'll get better. Trust me. So the northerners, like, people understand I'm a bit distracted. Uh, so I'm not trying to form a perfect play. There will be mistakes, and I'm not trying to cut or edit it. I just want to see the whole of it. So now, unlike the West believe in education, different opinion, coming to a conclusion. So the British felt like this is a way to still rule the country from with another system, or indirectly. Let me put it that way. So after the independence, of course, our first prime minister was Tafawa Balewa. I might make mistakes with those names because I'm not like trying to read them out, or they are something I just had to revise. I just have it in my head for a long time. So don't mind the glasses. So Tafawa Balewa was prime minister. I think they had Azikwe, which was one of the pioneers of like one of the people, because the way we got our independence, we got it in what's it called, in a diplomatic way. We didn't have to use force, and all thanks to Obafemi Awolowo, Tafawa Balewa, Nnamdi Azikwe, and loads more. So all the region were instrumental to it. Now, if you feel it's a coincidence that a northerner was the first, okay, it was a prime, how will I put it, prime minister, or what's it called? Then the executive president was Nnamdi Azikwe, but in that situation, it was a ceremonial leader. I mean, is Azikwe. In this process, I think there was a lot of corruptions, right? And that led to the first coup. During the first coup, the first coup gave to the rise of, I think I've forgotten. Hold on, I remember. Yeah, I think the coup gave birth to Aguiyi, right? And most of the military northern leaders were killed. Yes, because they were mostly then not even northerns alone. I think Akitola in what's it called, southwest, and some couple of others in Lagos too. At that moment, the northerners perceived it as an ethnical coup, because majority of people that led that war, that coup, were Easterner, and most people killed were Northerners. Meanwhile, those that didn't resist arrest were not killed. So this is the birth of the ethnical crisis. Now, after this coup, right, there were divisions in the army. The Northerners started feeling like, okay, this is when Aguiyi became the president and all that, right? If I'm, I guess I'm right. So the Northerners felt the Easterners don't like being dominated, and this was why they had to do that. And this also gave birth to the coup. Not they were just capitalizing on the fact that it was because of corruption. And that is why after a while there was another coup which made them kill Aguiyi-Ironsi, Fajuri, and you would know, you would see the witch hunting, you would notice the witch hunting. So, like see these glasses, say one day, one kind, you know, fit me, but permit the light, okay? I just want you guys to perceive me as a scholar, you know. I promise the next one will be better. I'm just bringing out my flaws to you guys, so you see that I'm just trying to get better. And I'm open to corrections, and you see in the middle of the forget it. So that gave birth to the second coup that had Yakubu Gowon being the new president. Now the Northerners now felt that they are back in their place. There were several massacres in the north, specifically killing the Igbos, feeling like thinking that the Igbos feel themselves too much. There were what's it called? There were agitations, there were awareness from the general from the east, like Ojukwu, I guess, saying that Yakubu Gowon, if I'm right, needs to protect the citizens. They are being killed carelessly, not caring who they are or whatever it is. And this happened for a while. Now, you are prone to be attacked if you are an Easterner, if you are an Igbo person, not by a Yoruba man, but by an Osama. A Yoruba man has always been in the middle of them too. And we'll talk about the Yoruba, a typical Yoruba man, in probably in the next episode. Because a typical Yoruba man using Obafemi Awolowo, which has lived, has enjoyed so many praises after his death, which I'm not one of the people that heaps him a lot of praises. He deserves a bit, but I feel he's overrated. But please, before you crucify me, listen to the fact that listen to the episode that I'll talk more about Obafemi Awolowo, and not even a nobody like me can erase him from the history of Nigeria. But at least it's fine. We have everything detailed, like we have a better understanding of what goes on and how we got to where we are today, right? Okay, so after this agitation and everything by General Ojukwu, Odemiogo Ojukwu, right? Ojukwu said after his followers started pushing for him to form a nation called Biafra of their own so that they can protect themselves, since the Nigerian government is failing to protect their citizens. If you really need to understand this, you can Google more about the Kaduna killings, other direct attacks on places, because majorly most places were headed, not the military place, not the military, but almost administration were headed by Easterners and the Southwesterners, because they were more educated. They went to Oxford and all, you know, just like I said from the beginning. So they were chanted. Most of them were being attacked, killed, and this made them flee back to the east. And this, what's it called? This gave rise. Okay, this sorry, when message pops in, I get a bit distracted. I'm sorry. So Ojukwu, in that respect, that he has spoken to Gowon and he didn't take it serious, and he feels he has to protect his people, and this is what these people are clamoring for: a nation where they can protect themselves. Britain, on the other side, can't let this happen, because one way or the other, Yakubu Gowon was their toy, and they were still enjoying Nigeria's oil, so they can't let that happen. Secession was never an option for them. You get me? So, I won't edit this video actually. I won't. So, this was what, after the Igbos have gone back to their hometown, to their motherland, the Igbos in the military, in the army too, they withdrew, they fell back. There were a lot of people that fought the Biafra army too, and this was how the journey started. The ethnical crisis and the Nigeria civil war. I'm addressing the civil war first and the Biafra issue because it is the what's it called? It is the hottest topic in Nigeria at the moment, and the intensity, the tension is brewing, and all navigation is pointing to what's it called, to the direction of another war. If care is not taken, most times we take things for granted, like nothing of this of such will happen. But eventually, we find ourselves in the middle. A lot of things are breaking down in this country. Nothing is holding up anymore, if you understand. So I feel I should probably put a stop to this. In my next episode, I might have dropped it, so you can actually click and see it. In my next episode, I'll talk more about the Biafra War, or let's make it this way. Let me put a bit more on it. The Civil War. Now, Yakubu Gowon, who was the president then, had to resist that. After Ojukwu and Effiong declared the Biafra nation, France, on the other hand, supported Biafra because it was a power play, in the sense that France and England were both tearing Africa apart, like they were both colonizing the African states. So France feels if they support Biafra and they eventually win the war, they will have access to the oil in the east, because east is where Nigeria oil, as at then, before they now later what's it called, regionalize the old places, and they marketed south, they brought south out from the east, and there was south, like you understand. And but at some point it was just the east, the west, and the north. So France felt like they had the added advantage for supporting them, and they eventually succeed and become a nation of their own. They will become a backbone for Biafra, and they will have access to their oil. And you see, it's the power play between two big nations, the Britain and France, the French people. So France didn't declare openly, but they were supporting Biafra. Britain, on the other side, can't let that happen because they still want to access the oil, and they still want to indirectly brew the country, neo-colonialism, and that is going to restrict the resources to have access to, if you understand what I mean. If there are blunders in my English, try to please comprehend, and we'll get better. So this is how the war started. The leaders, or the general that led the Nigeria country, the Nigerian state rather, Segun Obasanjo, Muhammadu Buhari, to speak of few, they were not expecting Biafrans to launch an attack, because what they just did was called a treasonable offense, and they were waiting. They thought the Biafra were waiting for their move, not knowing that Biafra were planning a counter move to go ahead of them, to secure their boundaries from the Ore side, then from is it from the Jeba side? I can't remember specifically, please pardon me, and like that. And in my next episode, I'll talk more about how the war really happened, what really transpired. You can try and read more, learn more. If you have other sources or a different kind of story, you can tell me about it. We can blend in together, we can get better, we can actually really understand how we got here. After this, we still talk about religion, because religion, after governance, religion has also been the major thing that has influenced us and has taken us backward. Meanwhile, I'm a Christian that believes in God. but it doesn't mean that some things are not wrong, and things that really influence the society as and made us gone backward. We are not even stagnant. We are moving. We are retrogressing. So I feel like in my next episode, I'll talk more on this. By that time, I hope I look a bit fresher. I get a better lightning, right? Then we'll conclude the Biafra conversation. Move to the next one. Talk about society at large. Talk about other things. Once again, my name is Ademola Fayemi. Let me put my glasses back so you think I'm still a scholar. Thank you. Bless you.